Good evening and welcome to a match of Dota 2 between MYM, or otherwise known as Meet Your Makers, or former Tough Bananas and former Copenhagen Wolves, versus NEXT.kz on the Radiant side. And this is a StarLadder match which will force me, well, not really force me, but which will make me say I am not an official caster for StarLadder. For official casts, you can check out Own TV. And right now, for this match, there is no official English coverage. However, you can check out Matrix for You, who's casting it in Russian. But, yeah, well, that is it. So, we're going to check out this game. See how they do. Because, of course, we know NEXT.kz, they haven't really been at that high streak lately. They have lost most matches that we've seen from them lately. And Meet Your Makers, Tough Bananas, former, they have been doing extremely well. So, we're going to see how they're going to hold up against NEXT.kz. For now, we have got the Darkseid as well as the Lycan, Naga, Siren, Chen, and Lashak banned out, and we are gonna see what the last ban is gonna come up from Meet Your Makers. We still have the Rubicon, still have the Tidehunter, Invoker, Morphling even, and I say Morphling because NEXT.kz Mantis is a very, well, he likes to play Morphling a lot, basically. So we're gonna see, we're gonna see Enigma ban out. So at least the only jungle hero still in the pool is the Enchantress, which we haven't really seen all that often, to be fair, anymore. At least not compared to the Chen and the Enigma. It's still gonna be the Rubik first pick them. So it's gonna be a Morphling and Invoker for Meet Your Maker, so they don't give the Morphling away and they want to pick up the Invoker for themselves. So still all the heroes that I mentioned earlier just picked up rather than banned out. Let's see what NEXT.kz wants to go for. I mean, there's still a Ravage in the pool, as in Tidehunter is there. If they want to go for that also hero that's picked up fairly early lately, and maybe they just want to secure that carry, because of course right now, I mean, with the Morphling on the other side, they're not going to have a chance to pick up anything else before the bans are going to come out again from Meet Your Makers, and maybe there's going to be a ban on those carries, and maybe they're going to ban out carries that NEXT.kz will want, so they're kind of forced to get those get one of those carries soon, unless they want to risk having them banned out. Of course, both Anti-Mage and Faceless Void still in the pool, carries that we have seen lately. There's the Anti-Mage indeed still picked up, and a Windrunner at that, so securing a long lane solo for them. And right now, it is only up for us to guess if the Rubik is going to be a support or not. So also for Meet Your Makers to guess what they can ban out. Maybe still the Enchantress if they fear that NEXT.kz will go for dual lane with Rubik Anti-Mage and solo lane then still, but we will have to see, we'll have to find out. At the same time, Meet Your Makers is going to have the next pick. They have already got their solo lane, they've got the Morphling. They could also go for a hero that could either play support or go for a solo lane as well. I mean, Morphling, we see them a lot with Crystal Maiden, we see them with Shadow Shaman a lot lately as well. But they are going to go for the long lane solo as well, so it will be a Beastmaster for them, which is of course a nice hero to have against that Windrunner. Sorry, not against a Windrunner, against the Anti-Mage, so we can't blink away. You can hopefully kill him off in the time that it takes for you to, well, in the time that that the target is roared. We have a Shadow Demon ban out from NEXT.kz, no real surprise there. It is a counter towards the Anti-Mage, and they do not want to have it against them. And at the same time, it's kind of obvious that Meet Your Maker still needs to support, so they don't really need to think that much about what type of heroes they need to ban out, just which of the type of heroes they need to ban out. So maybe we're going to see maybe a Crystal Maiden or a Shadow Shaman ban out coming off from NEXT.kz next. At the same time, like I said, for Meet Your Makers, it's a bit more tricky because they just don't know what that Rubik is going to do, where he's going to go. But maybe therefore they're just choosing to ban out some heroes that would counter the heroes that they still want to pick up. Although having said that, I mean, they still have either room for a tri lane or room for a jungle and a dual lane. They ban out the Brewmaster and Enchantress, they're banning out on NEXT.kz, so they're kind of forcing MYM to go for that tri lane. And that is going to be their choice. Of course, we still have the Nature's Prophet in the pool, which is a hero that we have seen jungling before, so that could be the case. But if they're going to get a chance, because NEXT.kz can still pick that one up as well, so I'm not sure. Last ban out coming from Meet Your Makers. Which one will it be? And it will be a Templar Assassin. I can't believe Templar Assassin actually made it through the bans and picks so far. Through the draft without being picked up. It is a hero that you see a lot in combination with the Morphling. Or with the anti-mage for that matter, just a hero that can, well, I've said that plenty of times, he's not in there. Sand King will be picked up by NEXT.kz, maybe still fearing improved weather? Nah, that couldn't be it. They want to go for Sand King, indicating maybe trailing, coming off from Rubik anti-mage Sand King, perhaps. It will all depend on that last pick from NEXT.kz. They will review what they're going to do. For Meet Your Makers, they're going to go for the safe one. They're going to go for the Crystal Maiden support for with the Morphling. Still not revealing if they're going to go sending someone in the jungle or not. Nature's Prophet still in the pool. It's basically one of the only ones that can still jungle, or yeah, can still safely jungle without too much issues. Or without trying something extremely new or something like that. But it's gonna be NEXT.kz that's gonna be picking up something first. Let's see what it's gonna be. By the way, oh, there's the Venomancer, so tri-lane indeed. So Rubik solo with Sand King Venomancer, tri-lane with the anti-mage. But yeah, heads up. In 35 minutes from now, I will have to open a door. It will be an interruption of the game. I am sorry in advance, but just so you're aware. If the game lasts that long, even though with an anti-mage and a Morphling on the same team, yeah, that might be the case. We'll see though.
10 seconds remaining.
It's gonna be Meet Your Makers MYM that has not used any of its bonus time. Will they use it? Will they break the 130? Yes, they will. That's the reserve time. So will they pick up a jungle hero still, or will they also go for tri-lane? Because they now know that anti-mage is going to be with a tri-lane, so farming fairly secure with a Sand King and a Venomancer. And if Meet Your Makers wants to go for a secure tri-lane, they could still definitely go for it, like something like an Earthshaker or something like that. And actually now realize that Tidehunter has not been banned nor picked, so that could be a pick here too. Quite surprised Tidehunter is not banned nor picked. Eh. We'll see though. I mean, they're gonna use all their bonus time by the looks of it. I mean, maybe not only checking out which hero they want to pick up for themselves, but maybe also just already discussing what they can expect from NEXT.kz and how they are gonna divide their lanes. Just making good use of all the time that they have, all the time that they need. 40 seconds left, and they could go for basically anything, because in theory no other lane really needs anything, so they could go still for the Tidehunter. There it is, as well I kind of expected. And they have some team fight for them now as well, with the Sand King Epicenter versus the Tidehunter Ravage, and Morphling versus Anti-Mage game. Welcome to Dota 2. Yeah, fun. Hear my excitement? Hear my excitement. But yeah, I have to say though, Morphling Anti-Mage, I think we had a game of that 2 days ago. That wasn't that bad. Okay, I think it kind of was actually. Never mind. Well, regardless, we're gonna check which player is playing what. We see Balsam playing the Morphling for this game. Calculus is going to be playing that in Faceless Invoker. We're going to see Atlas playing the Crystal Maiden. Beastmaster is going to be played by Rise. And last but not least is the Nino for Meet Your Makers, sponsored by Razor on the Dire side. And he is playing the Tidehunter. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, we are going to see Mantis playing that Rubik. I'm quite surprised to see him playing the Rubik and not the carry role. It's going to be the carry role on the Anti-Mage. It's going to be played by Cobra, who's the stand-in for this match. We saw him earlier playing a Tidehunter, but this time he's going to play the Anti-Mage. And Sand King being played by Equal, with Nesty also stand-in, played by Venomancer. And that leaves only one, that leaves Stalcat. And he is going to be on the side lane solo, long lane probably, and he is on that Windrunner for that one. And in the meantime, we see them roaming around the jungle, but they're not going to be finding anything here. For now. Oh, nothing really. Invoker will be mid, most likely Beastmaster bottom. Trail lane top, maybe Tide will try to roam around together with that Crystal Maiden, but in theory it should be a very safe lane for Morphling to farm, with Windrunner being able to hold up against a tri lane that's going to come off from NEXT.kz on this bottom lane. So this is really... Oh, hello. Hello. Beastmaster got the rune in the meantime. Stalcat getting harassed a lot here. There's an anchor smash up on Tidehunter, who's actually going to go back off. Is forcing out one tangle from the Windrunner. Ward being placed. Windrunner did see that though. But yeah, it's going to be a Windrunner first, the safe lane of with the Morphling, and Beastmaster first, the safe lane with the Anti-Mage there, and he's invisible. Nice. like the human ward he is right now, just to make sure that these camps are not spawning. And right now they might even think that there's a ward somewhere, so they might try to counter ward, which would be nice, like forcing your opponent to spend some gold. Never a bad thing. In the meantime, put up the game stats so that you see the last hits and the nays, because I know you want to see that. So, yeah, this game I'm already preparing you. It might be long, and that also means that I might be indeed still in the game when this when the doorbell rings. So I'm warning you for that one already. I mean, that's the downside of living by yourself. There's nobody to open your doors. Anyway, but yeah. Morphling, Anti-Mage. That is what it's gonna be. Both on the safe lane, both farming. Frostbite on StarLadder. He has a wind run. He's not gonna use it just yet though. There's still only an Anchor Smash upon the tide. No Gush just yet. And Crystal Main is gonna get some harass, but she's just harassing back as well. Another Frostbite, another right click. Selka. Whoa, taking a lot of damage. He's gonna pop a Salve most likely next to his Tango, or maybe just 8 more Tangos because he did have 6 to begin with. And there goes his Salve still. So forcing out that regen from your opponents, of course, also very important to do. And we're gonna see both teams playing fairly safe, apart from these two who have smoked up Sand King and Venomancer and now rotated to the mid lane, looking for a good opening to go in. 2-minute rune will be top. Yes, it will be haste rune for Stalcat. And Venomancer shows himself on the lane already, forcing Invoker back. Already gets a kill. Telekinesis there as well. Here comes the Burrow Strike. He goes invisible though, and there's nothing they can do against this. This is a Cross-Wax Invoker. You cannot gank him without dust. Or a ward. Or a sentry ward. NEXT.kz not picking up the first blood and now making Calculus more aware that something like that could happen. In the meantime, Stalcat making good use of that haste rune. Making sure he's getting some experience with that, even though having said that, yeah, there he goes. So he is still level 1. He's gonna get a Frostbite. He's gonna get a Gush, maybe now 2. There we go. Windrun is now on cooldown. A couple more right clicks needed, and that is a first blood. And that is a first blood not only for Meet Your Makers, but also for a Morphling, the hero that you do not want to see that first blood on. Wow, English, because it is of course one of those heroes that you know, you want to shut down as much as possible. But that's not gonna go well if you give him first blood. But at the same time, I mean, Anti-Mage is still farming as well. Also having free farm. Last hit, he's 17 for 13. He is higher up on that than that Morphling, even though his Morphling is only 1 behind. And I guess he makes up for that with that first blood money. Beastmaster coming ahead here, very far. He's level 1 as well. Of course, we can compare him to that Windrunner. And I have to say, I mean, it's been a while since we had like real tri-lane versus tri-lane lineup with 2 solo lanes without any real jungle hero on either side of the teams. Because mostly lately it's been the jungle hero, dual lane, 2 solo lanes. With a semi-tri-lane with the jungle hero. But right now, I mean, we saw Tidehunter in the jungle. We're probably going to stack up some creeps. Maybe trying to do something. It's going to pull some creeps even. But it is just safe versus safe, kind of. Strategy versus strategy, that is, I mean, same strategy versus same strategy. I was gonna say, strategy versus strategy is always strategy versus strategy. Like, obviously. Anyway, Anti-Mage versus Morphling. It's probably the way it goes. I mean, Anti-Mage versus Morphling will mostly end up in the same type of game. Kinda. Depending on how the start of the game goes. I mean, we still see Anti-Mage and as well as Morphling just very close towards each other. Based on last hits, also denying keeping the lane at the check. In the meantime, it is Anti-Mage that is way up high up on that tower though, giving Rise some experience. And Windrunner in the meantime, he's not able to get that experience. He's still level 1. Sand King moving towards the middle lane as well. I mean, in the meantime, it is important for those supports to just try to get that farm in the jungle or try to get your experience and gold elsewhere to make sure that your carry can farm and get all the experience on the lane without having to share. It is very tough for the supports, of course, in that case, to just continue to be able to do useful stuff without just standing around somewhere, which is why we see Equal stacking up this camp multiple times now, and has actually not succeeded in doing it this time, but, you know, the thought was there. Because, I mean, bottom lane is gonna be safe. Anti-Mage has an escape mechanism. He can blink away, shoot something happen. Morphling, weave from away, shoot something happen. Mid lane though, it's gonna be Calculus, who is surrounded once again by NEXT.kz. There is a Windrunner as well as a Sand King hanging around. Of course, I think he saw them. I mean, there is a ward there. He saw the Windrun already. I think the Sand King showed himself as well, because it is still daylight, so he's going to be extra safe, as well as, of course, he has got that invisibility, so that ghost walk, so he should be fine regardless. But well, that's actually the lane where most of the stuff is happening right now. Windrunner is not going to be that aggressive anymore, because the last time she did, even if she had a haste rune, she died. She gave away first blood to a Morphling. Not something that you really want to do. So she's going to be a lot more safe. Going to wait for that 6-minute rune. That is how you can be useful. Be your own ward, human ward, and it is going to be on the bottom lane this time, and it therefore is going to be for that Beastmaster Invisibility rune. Nice one for him to have, and gives him some free experience if he wants on that bottom lane as well, but right now he rather chooses to go for maybe a kill, maybe a dive. If Calculus cooperates, of course, they know that the Sand King is there too. Beastmaster saw him. Level 3 upon the Beastmaster, by the way, so level 2 access for him. He doesn't really have anything but the access if they really want to try for something. He didn't even spec his Skull of the Wild, which is not something that you see all that often. Burrow Strike, Telekinesis, Calculus, Access will fly. Here comes Crystal Maiden with a Nova. Mantis is going to be the one to drop with Invoker picking up the kill, and the Sand King. Tornado will pick him up. Sentry Ward was even there, but not really needed, and that is 4 heroes here to get this kills. These kills, that were 2 kills of NEXT.kz being on the wrong side of the river. And it shows that Meteor Makers right now, they just have the more patience. Of course, Beastmaster tried to do something with that rune, but you know, everybody would. But it is NEXT.kz that's trying to be aggressive while they don't really need to. Meteor Makers just defending where they can, TPing in if they see an opportunity to get some extra experience up on their supports as well, of course, which is very important. But it is NEXT.kz that's just cannot play the waiting game as good as Meteor Makers, or at least in that aspect right now, in the middle lane. In the meantime, Anti-Mage still 48, 49 for 26, with Morphling slightly behind on 48 for 25. Of course, one thing that we have to note here is, well, actually 2 things, sorry. It is going to be the Anti-Mage that's later on the game will be able to farm faster if he gets his Battle Fury. And next to that, it's going to be the Morphling that will be ready earlier than the Anti-Mage to join fights and stuff. So that balance will be very important to decide which team will be coming out ahead of this one. When does Meteor Maker start fighting? Will also depend on when the Ravage is up, of course. Tidehunter will be needing level 6. And of course Morphling will want to have one of the bigger items up on himself, or maybe just continue farming. And well, for NEXT.kz, it will depend on when Anti-Mage is ready, and they will have to hold off before Meteor Makers is ready to fight. They will have to hold them off. And they will have, of course, a Rubik as well as a Venomous as well as a Windrunner for it. In the meantime, Stelcat, I don't know if she didn't see Crystal Maiden there, but he's gonna go down. Crystal Maiden picks up the kill. He just ran right into them. And of course it's nighttime, so less vision there, but still quite funny to see. And we have got Rubik rotating to the top lane, got a Telekinesis up on Morphling, but he can't really do that much. Wait for him through. Mantis might be in some trouble here if they want to turn around. Dive from the Tidehunter, going back once more. And he stole a morph. I don't know if it's gonna work though. He is morphing into strength, but he's almost out of mana. Sand King coming in, gets a Frostbite. No Burrow Strike for him just yet. Now he can Burrow Strike, but now he can't anymore because he's dead. Crystal Maiden picks up the kill. Double kill for Atsi. And now Meteor Maker's back off, having the creep wave at their backs as well as Windrunner. If she had a shackle, she could have latched one, but she doesn't have a shackle. She's level 3 right now, landing some hits on the Tidehunter, who's now level 5. And it is 5 for 0 right now in favor of Meteor Makers, and NEXT.kz not really able to do anything against this right now. Trying to do something and didn't work out. And they were happy that the Rubik didn't die. Because that would have been a bigger blow, because Rubik is of course one of the semi-carries here. He has been in the solo mid lane versus that Invoker. He's got himself 34 last hits. He's of course against an Invoker that is slightly ahead. 41 last hits for him, as well as of course 2 kills. So it's a level higher for him as well. And we have smoke up for Sand King as well as for the Rubik. And they want to go somewhere. Let's see where they're going to go. Maybe top lane. They can't really gank top lane though, or at least not from where they're coming right now. I mean, they would just come up from the front, so wouldn't really be all that much of a surprise. Maybe Windrunner can bait them, but there's 3 heroes here now, 4 heroes here of NEXT.kz, combining that with the Windrunner. So only hero that is not there is the Anti-Mage, who is going to get harassment there as well. Axis will fly. There is not a roar just yet. Cold Snap will make sure the Anti-Mage cannot blink away. Now he can. And top lane didn't have anything happening. Tornado did not pick up Cobra anymore, and Cobra gets forced back. If that was a roar on the Beastmaster right there, that would have been a kill for sure. Anti-Mage was just so far up there, feeling so confident against Rise here. And NEXT.kz, standing here with 4 heroes is definitely not worth it if you can't get a kill or tower. Morphling in the meantime, okay, he's getting denied some experience here. Or, sorry, some last hits because he's still getting the experience, especially, well, Tidehunter now waiting for level 6 with Crystal Main around there as well, but still 4 heroes here of NEXT.kz. Rubik hanging around here. There's Crystal Main, gets a Gale, gets a Telekinesis, and he will drop. Power Shot will help out, and last it goes to the Venomancer. Still has a Frostbite on the Sand King, by the way, still has his Burrow Strike. Hits on the Tidehunter, Tornado will go off as well from Invoker coming in, and it's Sand King that gets picked up by the Tidehunter, and now the chains goes off and Mantis, and he is gonna try to get away, but won't be able to do so. Morphling picking out with the waveform. Stalcat trying to run away. Is there gonna be another cold snap? No, 8 seconds for that one. Stalcat, I mean, those right clicks do a lot of damage, but Calculus did not want to die for that one anymore. Danilo staying alive as well as Balsam picking up an extra kill. Balsam, who is involuntarily, or at least, well, of course he wanted to be, but, you know, everything comes in. He has not left his lane and has been on 5 out of 7 kills so far, of which of 2 of those he managed to get the last hit, so doing a great job there. Of course, Antimage is getting free farm, which is nice as well, but he just doesn't have any kills, and I'm actually, because of that, I'm going to put up the net worth, because that right now is more important than those last hits. With that gold that's up on Meet Your Makers, we are going to see them pulling ahead, especially on that Morphling. He is 800 gold ahead of Cobra. Having said that, like I said, later on in the game, it will be the Antimage that farms faster. Invoker, by the way, gets a kill on the Venomancer, but gets killed because of it. Crystal Main not able to help out enough. Tidehunter still very low top, by the way. He's just jungling, in case you're wondering. But yeah. That wasn't worth dying for. I'm not sure he expected the rest of the NEXT.kz to be there, actually. Invisibility up on Rise, and he is now still level 5, actually. Dust being popped. It's too far out, though. Rise is already on his way out. TP in from the Venomancer as well. Maybe they want to try to get a tower here. Cobra just continuing to last his stuff, just because he can. And Rise is just going to stand in there, and now he's level 6. Now we might see something going off if someone came to this lane, but the TP from Invoker goes actually towards the mid lane, not towards the bottom lane. And just continuing to last hit there. We do see Invoker higher up than the Rubik is, almost, well, 1.3k gold ahead of that Rubik in the mid lane. Windrunner managed to get to level 4, woohoo! But she's up for the level 9 Morphling. Has to be really careful there. We see Rice hiding himself in the jungle. They don't see him right here. He is waiting for his teammates. From the side comes Invoker, who finds him Venomancer. Gale goes up on Calculus, but there's a Cold Snap. Level 6 versus level 9. Cold Snap goes. Equal might still get a Burst Strike, but the invisibility is there, and Antimage is not going to be in time. And the Crystal Main Nova as well as a right click will end the life of the Venomancer. And they're going to go for more Dust being popped, but he's no longer there. Dust being popped for that Invoker, of course. Here comes the Windrunner as well. Antimage trying to get something. Rise still has his Roar, though, if he wants to. He can turn around. Telekinesis up on Rise. We'll try to continue on the way. There will be a Burst Strike. Hits on 3. And that is going to be 2 down, as well as a Beastmaster, as well as a Crystal Main. Mana Void does not hit. Ravage does hit, though, and they kill off the Antimage. A very important kill here. Reform through Stalcat. Morphling in the mix of all of this is going to try to find a kill. Is going to try to find it on Balsam, because Windrunner is already Windrunner herself away. Tidehunter having to run away from this one. And is going to be chased down by Equal. He doesn't have enough mana for another Burst Strike, though. Gale hits up on Balsam. He's morphing into strength. Still wants to try to get a kill. Weaveform does some damage to Mantis, but it's not going to kill him off, and everybody backs out. Well, after I say that, Rise still wanted to do his Roar, gets it on the Sand King as well, and that is the Adaptive Strike. And Crystal Main picking up the kill with her Nova. Venomancer on the run here, getting harassed. Anchor Smash will help out, and Morphling picking up the kill. Killing spree for Balsam right now, and the rest of NEXT.kz knows that they should be running. I mean, they get some kills. Everybody that they kill comes back, and that is just painful. And that is with the story of this fight on this bottom lane. And of course, the major thing to note is the Antimage. He went down there. He dropped. He is close to his Mantis now, though. Sorry, I mean to his Build of Fury. But he died, and that's not something you want to see. With Balsam still not dying, has been an 8 out of the 12 kills, of which 3 of them he was able to pick up the last hit. So is definitely doing good. 4 heroes in the meantime on the bottom lane from Meet Your Makers, doing that typical 4.1 strat. TP incoming. Oh, nice waveform out of the Burst Strike. But yeah, it was at 4.1, but because basically they're gonna say, you know, fight us or we're gonna take your tower. But right now it's gonna be taking your tower. But they are of course aiming to have that Morphling free farming. Which right now he's not having, because there's too many people in the mid lane. Top lane is Antimage, not really where you want to be. Antimage is going to lay down some harassment on that top tier 1 tower. There are no towers down yet on the side of Meet Your Makers, by the way. Just 2 towers down now on the side of NEXT.kz. And the TP from Invoker went towards the top lane to force back the Anti-Mage, force him back inside that jungle where he is farming. I mean, he's got his power threads. He can definitely do that fairly safe. In the meantime, tier 1 tower gonna get harassed in his middle lane, where Morphling is actually the only one defending it. He's gonna have help soon, though. Smoke is up for the dire side. Rise has a roar again. Ravage is up in 19 seconds. And they are backing off once more. Even though there was no ward for the Radiant side, they knew something might be coming. And they chose to go on the Anti-Mage instead. Like I said, they have the roar. They have a Frostbite, 2 things that are just very effective against an Anti-Mage that tries to blink away. If they have the damage is the other choice. There goes the Axis. Gosh, Frostbite, can he blink away in time? That's a question. Nope. Nope. Crystal Main picks up the kill with her Crystal Nova. In the meantime, though, Windrunner managed to pick up a tier 1 tower, but trading an Anti-Mage to a tier 1 tower is actually quite okay for Meet Your Makers, that is. It's just, I mean, not only that you kill off the Anti-Mage, yes, that's nice, you slow down his Battle Fury, which is all okay. In the meantime, wait a second, Burrow strike up on Calculus, Power Shot will go off as well, but Force Staff, which he already has, helps him, as well as the Haste Rune that he has, lands a Tornado, making sure that nobody can chase him anymore, and he will be fine. And he TP's back to base, because he is too low to stay around, hang around. But yeah, you don't only shut the Anti-Mage down, slow him down, but you also, just the most important thing is, right now, it is all farm time, and of course, the psychological game, making sure that he is not sure if he can free farm, making sure that he is more careful. Hopefully he does move back towards that bottom lane, and we do see him waiting around here. I mean, he didn't see these 2 heroes, but he just wants to wait until the creep wave is there, wants to wait until even blocking some, until we can free farm a bit more easily. And Lincoln Sphere in the meantime completed up on the Morphling, so that's the one that he wanted to go for. And he got it complete right now, so we might see Meet Your Makers trying to force out some more. I mean, they've already got down 2 tier 1 towers, and they might try to get this tier 1 tower as well. And Balsam helping out with the Invoker, kind of indicating that they're done with having Balsam free farming. Power Shot will just try to clear some of the creep waves, won't be able to do it. Not that much anyway. And I'm reminding myself more than I'm reminding you. But I'm still reminding you that in 15 minutes I have to open the door. But I have to keep track on that as well, so it's all cool. Fadeworld going through here, just harassing them back, and I do think Balsam will be looking for another pass soon to farm on, because right now he's not able to push down the tower, he's not able to get that much last hits, and it's just not that useful overall, and he has got... I like that. He dropped his Link Sphere, switched to Mana Boots, then used his Magic Stick, and then put everything back again, just to get the maximum out of the stick charges. I like that. Ward being placed here by NEXT.kz. He can do that. Ward next to a ward. I mean, that's just his job right now. Link Sphere, I heard it pop off, but that was probably just a... oh, that's early. Well, like I said, there's gonna be a door, and here was a door, and here is the director camera while I check the door. 2 seconds.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Don't you just love spectators' vision that you have on the director camera? So I'm back. Here's a normal camera once again. Let's see if anything happened while I was away. No. Well, Blink Daggers. Ooh, Blink, Roar, Anti-Mage down. Well, that's the start. Nice comeback.
I made my kill.
And, yeah, so, Blink Dagger also up on the Tidehunter. There is also a Ravage up on him in the area. I'm looking for blood right now. Gonna find a Venomancer by himself. That is a very sad target right there. And he has no idea what's coming for him. He's not gonna be able to get away by Venomancer. TP's incoming instantly, but it's already too late. Tornado going through. Windrunner up in the air. Lands a nice shackle, but it's a Crystal Main only. Here comes a Blink in. There's the Ravage. And that is already Windrunner dead. That is the Sand King dead. Rubik You have to run away from this right now because you're the only one left alive for that one. And that was almost a team wipe on the side of NEXT.kz. Meet your makers, and they're not even gonna get a tower in return for it. They could though. They could try for it. But TP out from the Beastmaster back home. Morphling in the meantime, pushing the mid tower down. And he's gonna be left alone for now. I mean, there's not really that much they can do. Unless they think they can do something. Anti-Mage actually going in on him. Cobra wants to chase him. He has an illusion up though. He's gonna try to TP out. Mana Void will be there, and he actually gets the kill. And it is the Anti-Mage that picks off the Morphling by himself, one-on-one. And Morphling not careful enough. Even the Lincoln Sphere couldn't help him there. Yeah, I opened the door and the person is here, so it's all cool. Don't worry. In the meantime, Faceless Invoker is I'm still calling him Faceless Invoker because it just looks stupid otherwise. But yeah, he is farming bottom lane. Sorry, I have to get back up to speed here. Like, switching out of the game is like a whole different mindset all of a sudden. We have 7,500 gold in favor of Meteor Makers right now, and experience graph, I mean, kind of the same. I mean, that Morphling pickoff, that was huge. That is a lot of experience going towards NEXT.kz. Most importantly, going towards that Anti-Mage, because if we look at the levels right now, it is the Anti-Mage that is higher level than the Morphling, and it wasn't that before they kill him up. Oh, sorry, I should still click that one away. There we go. Anti-Mage was not a higher level yet before that Morphling got picked off. Morphling is going back to farm right now. Got 1,400 gold right now, TPing into Crystal Maiden, who is denying her tower, but still allowing Balsam to TP back there. And Anti-Mage is going to continue farming mid lane. I mean, this is a typical Anti-Mage Morphling game right now so far, even though Meteor Makers has been able to get the momentum in the game more, but right now, I mean, still they're not getting that much in return yet anymore for their towers, or for their kills, like in form of towers. Even though right now they might be looking at the tier 2 tower bottom because 3 heroes on the top lane. In the meantime, Beastmaster gonna have a haste rune, gonna try to chase around Cobra as well as Neste, but they're gonna be going off to the tier 2 tower top lane anyway. Try to defend it, more people coming in. Mantis and Equal trying to run as fast as they can, but Tower still getting harassed. Venomous Ward's going down. They're really careful. They want to force out this team fight. Blink Dagger is ready for the Tidehunter. Tornado is again Venoman, so it's going to be the first one. We formed through by Nesta. You're dead. In the meantime, on the side of this Beastmaster that gets picked up by the Anti-Mage, and also Crystal Maiden go down. Cobra not done just yet. Tidehunter gets a burst strike, goes down. That is a triple kill for Cobra right there. 4-star forward. Invoker still picking up the Sand King as he goes, but he goes, and he might even go down. Anti-Mage still on the chase. There goes the Ghost Walk, and Cobra cannot do anything about this right now, but he finds Balsam, trying to morph into strength. Shackle doesn't latch, but will delay him. Well, no force that. We form over the top. We'll be able to get away from that one. In the meantime, Invoker still hanging around. Finding Mantis, very low on life. 4-star forward, not getting killed off by that Windrunner, and it's going to be Calculus that's going to be able to get away from this one. Alive. Together with his Pale and Morphling, the only 2 survivors from Meteor Makers. At the same time, it was a good fight for NEXT.kz, even though they couldn't kill off those 2. They only lost the Sand King as well as the Rubik, and I think that, did the Venomancer actually still go down? Probably did. Then 3 versus 3. I say probably did because, you know, it's a Venomancer. Probably did go down. No surprise there. So that fight, I mean, that fight just showed how even these 2 teams still are right now. And this is normally the time when we see a Anti-Mage pulling out over the Morphling. And we do see his gold going up right now, blink in. Well, Anti-Mage blinks out. And they don't know where he went. Nice one. Of course, he has a ward there, so he knew that they were coming, so was out of there in time. And is going to be safe once more. And actually, having said that, I mean, look at this warding from the Dire side right now. They are checking the entire Radiant jungle as well as the mid lane. They do not want to have that Anti-Mage farming. And every time they do see him, they're going to try to kill him off because they really have to make sure they shut him down right now. Because, yeah, like I said, I mean, Anti-Mage, he has that Battle Fury. He's building towards the Mantis, and this is the moment where he can farm faster than the Morphling. We're gonna see how much faster he can farm, and if the team fight that Meteor Maker brings, because it's gonna be able to be enough to take down that Anti-Mage. Because right now, I mean, if you look at the net worth, it's still Meteor Makers that has most heroes in favor. I mean, okay, only comparing Morphling to that Anti-Mage is of course fine, but the rest of the team definitely plays a role, and it is the Invoker and the Beastmaster that just play very big roles, and they did get a lot of gold up on them as well, as we just saw Invoker making big plays in the mid lane. making sure he picks off some heroes that he can and staying alive as well. It's just good play overall. And right now, if you look at the Radiant side and we see the equivalent of that Invoker, it is the Rubik who has been picked off just a lot more and cannot do as much, depending on what spells he steals, of course. That is just very dependent on that, but hasn't really made as much of a difference as the Invoker has. So we're gonna see if he's still gonna be able to do that. Smoke up in the meantime for NEXT.kz. And we're going to see where they're going to go for. They should be going towards the bottom lane or towards their own jungle, because that is where Meteor Makers is. Like, everybody is there. Meteor Makers still trying to push out some towers, but they're just a bit afraid to really force out anything more than just harassment on the tower. Velsum just can do this. He still has his replicant up. He doesn't have a replicant right now, but I do think that this might be a good time to get one, because Epicenter is back up again, as well as the Ravage, so they might just want to go for a team fight right here. And everybody of Meteor Makers on this bottom lane. Beastmaster as well. Tidehunter are hanging back purely because they've got those links, so they can be there very soon. And we're gonna have Morphling actually going back towards the. Or where did he go? He's actually still hanging around. The one that backed out was the Invoker who TP'd out of there. Is gonna be on the top lane, farming, going for a sheep stick by the looks of it. They need to have something to get that anti-mage under control. For the Radiant time in the meantime, I mean, it feels like they're a bit locked out of their... Well, they can't really go out too far to farm right now. We've seen Anti-Mage try, but every time again, those wards in the Radiant jungle made sure that he was forced out once again. And that might shut them down in the long run. We see the gold grab dropping again. It's still not that much though. Oh, hi, Beastmaster. Telekinesis, Axis flying through, that got stolen. TP out from Rise, but the Mana Void! Cobra helping out, and it's actually Mantis that gets the last hit on that one. Oh, nice job picking off those little heroes. Well, I'll say little. Beastmaster's actually not that little, but picking off those heroes one by one is actually what they need to do. Same thing goes for Meteor Makers though. They can't really force a team fight without giving themselves advantage in numbers mostly. Maybe advantage of surprise at some point, but right now it's mostly advantage in numbers. And until then, we're gonna see them happily farming. So like I said at the start of the game, this could be a very long game. We have seen it before. I think the game that we had last Sunday was between the Morphling Anti-Mage team was 15 minutes long. So we still have 30 minutes to go. Be ready. In the meantime, TP in towards the bottom lane. Cobra gonna be burned out of all his mana as well by the EMP. Cold Snap going up. He can't get away. Invoker getting a solo kill upon that Anti-Mage. Well, this way, it's gonna be going Meteor Maker's way pretty fast if they can continue doing that one. And like I said, Invoker, I mean, he's just so much of a semi-carry right now for Meteor Makers. And we have seen, of course, Mantis trying to do the same thing, but he's just not that... He cannot kill off a solo Morphling by himself. Solo Morphling. There it goes. If he would meet Morphling in the forest, he'd die. More than likely. In the meantime, Morphling has picked up a Ghost Scepter, so he's gonna go for that Ethereal Blade.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I try to pick up some heroes and thinking about which one he could pick up. It is going to be the Venomancer, so it's going to go down very fast. Rubik is a good target as well, so Windrunner, she doesn't have a Windrunner. Actually, doesn't really matter. But yeah, there's quite some heroes that Morphling could pick up if he gets a chance. And of course, Anti-Mage himself, I mean, he is going for a Battle Fury and Mantis Style, which of course Mantis Style gives him some nice stats and stuff, but it's not making him as tanky as he might want to be.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
In the meantime, Sand King is pushing down a top tier 2 by himself, leaving the rest of his team alone. And I don't think you see any TP in just yet. He can just continue right-clicking. He's got 1100 gold. He's going for the Priester Build and picked up a cloak. In the meantime, middle lane. Sand King is needed here. Well, there he goes. TP's in. Venomancer ulti already went off, and it's Meteor Makers that now has to back off. Here comes the Anti-Mage blinking and gonna go for Mana Void up on Calculus, who goes invisible instantly, but will still die most likely by that. Or not. Pops his quads, but Cobra's still on the run, chasing him down. Invoker, Deafening Blast going through. Here comes the Tidehunter as well, might be able to help out, but Calculus, is he gonna be fast enough? Pops all his wax, he's gonna be extra fast, he's gonna try to juke it in the forest, he is able to do so! Cobra, blink over the trees, there he goes, but it's too late. Tidehunter in its meantime backed off, killed off. Morphling picking up the Sand King on the sideline. I can't believe Calculus is actually still alive. It is only the Tidehunter that died on the side of Meteor Makers, and he died for the price of a Sand King that dropped under the hand of the Morphling. I cannot believe that Calculus is actually still alive. What a juke. What a juke. And this might mean for NEXT.kz that maybe they're gonna get an extra tower. Maybe, well, no, they're not. well, 1-for-1. Teamfight hero for teamfight hero. Even trade in a way. I say in a way because it was of course Morphin that picked up the kill on the Sand King, and Anti-Mage wasn't even in experience race for killing off the Tidehunter. Or actually maybe he was. He blinked in right at the right time. So that is good stuff, but it's still Morphling getting that extra gold. Ethereal Blade is now complete, so we will see him trying to fight some targets to take down with that shotgun morph, as you call him. And Anti-Mage continuing to farm. He's got his Manta style. Is gonna be happily farming here in the jungle, together with the Rubik. He's not alone. I mean, that's something that we have to take note of. In the meantime, who is alone is the Venomancer again. Cold snap. Yeah, you're dead. One more hit. Ew. Mega kill. This Calculus that is just a happy Calculus, to be fair. He's got 3,100 gold. And yeah, like I said, Anti-Mage, he's not too comfortable farming that jungle alone because he knows that he's gonna get caught out. Even though right now there's no wards up anymore on the side of the Radiant. The wards for the Dire are all on the top side. One over here at the Ancients and one over here. Roar going off in the meantime up on that Windrunner. Actually will fly through, but he should be fine. Just delaying him. Meteor Makers coming in from two sides. Top lane, they want a tier 2 tower. In the meantime, tier 1 tower bottom goes down under the hand of the Anti-Mage. And now everybody comes in from the top. EMP going through, and it's actually Mathis that goes down. That was the Ethereal Blade. Balsam picking it up. Venomancer, what are you doing here? Throwing down his ultimate. But he is in some trouble right now. But Balsam, maybe in a bit more trouble. Morphing into strength. Here comes the Blink in. There comes the Ravage. And that picked off the Venomancer. Equal trying to do. He still has his epicenter, but he needs to find a target. He's gonna find Morphling. Shackle doesn't latch. In the meantime, Crystal Maiden ultimate actually going off. And it is Mathis that dies again on his Rubik. Anti-Mage TPing in here. Wants to go for Calculus. Gets a Frostbite though. Is there enough damage? One more hit needed. There he goes. Crystal Maiden does the job. Magical damage through that Ethereal Blade. And the TP is out from Balsam. He doesn't want to hang around here anymore. Has a replicate, so could go back here at any time where he wants to when he's back to full HP most likely. And it looks like Meteor Makers with this advantage that they just picked up, they're gonna go for the Barracks, or at least for the tier 3 tower. Power Shot will still try to do something. Shackle doesn't hit. Burst Strike doesn't hit either. Gush. Anchor Smash. Equal having to back out again. Gets a Cold Snap though. He's gonna get Frostbitten. Gale still going through, but they don't care. Equal dies. Windrunner dies as well to the Morphling. That was the Ethereal Blade. Welcome back, Balsam. Roar going off on the Venomancer, and it looks like Meteor Makers. I was entirely wrong. No 15-minute game for this one, because Meteor Makers is just pulling out ahead so far right now. Showing them who's boss. Tornado going through, and also, of course, in this time, it's going to be Cobra that is not able to farm right now. He's being forced inside his base the entire time. There goes the tier 3 tower. Lincoln Sphere gets popped by Balsam. On Balsam. You see, Ethereal Blade is back off cooldown again. And it's going to be Balsam that's actually going to take the high road, or at least they're going to be careful. Whoa, gotta be careful. Lincoln from Cobra, actually, he wants to go for it. Deafening Blast will try to stop it. Balsam, there goes the Aegis. He's going to be back up again shortly, though, and it's going to be Cobra that has to back off for this one, being afraid of that Ethereal Blade that's going to come off shortly, probably. Lincoln Sphere, Shackle does latch into the Crystal Main. Anti-Mage in the midst of all of this. He might be able to go down, but morphing into strength, reforming out of this one. Crystal Main Nova going through, Frostbite up on the Anti-Mage, and he actually goes down to the Morphling. Crystal Main, BKB on Crystal Maiden. Hello, Atsi. Frostbite again, now he goes down. Rubik stole the Gush, so that's the end of the Crystal Maiden. In the meantime, we hear the Morphling picking off. The Windrunner still as he gets telekinesis again. Burrow Strike doesn't hit, and there's the Replicant, and he is going to be fine, as well as the Nino is backing up once more here. Sunstrike going off, but that's not going to hit anybody anymore. And that was a fight again. I mean, Meteor Makers, they were just able to stay there, stay in that place, stay in that fight for such a long time without really being forced back. I mean, yeah, they got the tier 3 tower and didn't get the Barracks, which is a shame for them, but definitely them that ruled that game. Dictated when and where what happened and who was going to go down, even though, of course, you know, they lost some of their members themselves as well, but not the Morphling. Important. Morphling 10 to 1 to 9, so he's doing very good so far. And he's got 150 gold. What did he buy? He's got his Manta style complete, I guess. Yeah, there it goes. I was gonna say, that's not that much gold for a Morphling that just got a lot of kills. But that will explain it. And this is the right. Oh, Sunstrike, but no ward. No Sunstrike. Otherwise, he would be so dead. Smoke up for NEXT.kz. They need to do something, and they know it. They will have the Anti-Mage probably continuing to farming while NEXT.kz, the rest of them, is trying to find some targets to kill. Maybe knowing that Roshan is going on right now, would they have the strength to deal with that though? I mean, there is a roar up again up on Rise. Invoker Full of Mana once again. Ats gonna find everybody here. Pops her BKB. He's gonna throw down her ultimate. That's the time. Venomman's ultimate going through as well. Calculus is in trouble getting Shackle, but the Ravage will help. Crystal Maiden Nova still going through. Mantis, very low life, gets picked up. Invoker picks up the Venommancer in the meantime. Deafening Blast going through as well, with Tidehunter getting picked up by the Sand King. And it is the Shackle once again. Crystal Maiden and Belson. Parashot going through. Teammate Illusion's going to try to kill up Anti. Morphling will kill off the Windrunner though, and it is 4 for 2. Boros Strike will still kill off the Crystal Maiden. Tornado does not hit on Equal, and Equal is actually the last one still standing for NEXT.kz. And they know it. They know it. So it is the GG that has been called, and it's Meteor Makers that wins this match, wins this battle of Morphling versus Anti-Mage. But I do think it was not just the Morphling that made this game. It was the combination of Calculus being just a better semi-carry than that Rubik, as well as, of course, a Tidehunter. I do think he's a slightly better team fighter than a Sand King. And, of course, Sand King didn't get half as much farm. He doesn't even have a Blink Dagger yet. He almost had it, though. I mean, he was going towards it. But it is Meteor Makers that ends this game in a win, and it is a match for StarLadder. My name is Sheever. I am a Ghost of Gamers caster. You can check out ghostofgamers.net for all your esports information, and you can follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/SheeverGaming. Please subscribe. I'm going for 5K subscriptions. Subscribe. And, oh yeah, and this was a StarLadder game, so as said, I am not an official caster for this match. For official cast, you can go to Owned TV. However, for this match, there was no official English cast. Next match that will be up will either be Fnatic RC versus Empire, or EG versus Kharkiv. I don't know which one of the two just yet. It will depend on which match is covered already. I will be doing the other one, obviously. And, well, stay tuned for that, as we're just waiting until the throne explodes. Should be soon, because everybody of NEXT.kz already disconnected. And the next game, in theory, should be starting, like in 15 minutes, if I can calculate stuff. Sorry, 10 minutes. Almost right. So, a short break before the next match will start. And stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere.